Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Wimbledon Power Rankings for the WTA. So now, before you get triggered, before anyone looks at it and says, "What are these lists? What are these rankings?" This is the final rankings from the Roland Garros Power Rankings that we did. We're going to go through and update it for Wimbledon. 4 tournaments on grass have been played on the women's side, and some interesting results, in all honesty. And as always, we're going to go through it and we're going to break down mainly based on form. But I think with the grass court swing, and especially with Wimbledon anyway, there's not as many tournaments to go upon. So we do have to factor in previous results in the year a bit more, and also prior results at Wimbledon and how people's styles might translate onto the surface, because there's just not as many tournaments leading up to it. Before we get into it, though, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Shout out to our members as well, of course. You guys are all legends, so appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so let's work our way into this, because this is a very interesting little list that we have here, and I'll tell you why. Because it's going to be intriguing to see who ends up coming out on top, who doesn't. um I do think that some of the top players you'd expect to win haven't had the best of quote unquote grass court seasons. And that's not a massive surprise, but at the same time, we do have to factor that in. It's a big point of this whole exercise, is to make sure that we have the top 10 most informed players going into Wimbledon. So let's start with Swiatek then and see how she's done. Well, she had some pretty impressive results as of late. She had to pull out of her match against Bronzetti as a walkover because she had I think she had fever and possible food poisoning. But before that, she had some good results, beating Blinkova in straight sets, Teichmann in straight sets as well. And look, I mean, she looked pretty good. Beat Tatiana Maria, who was a semi-finalist at Wimbledon last year. She lost the first set, then came back and won 2-0, or 2-0, bageling her in the final set, which is a positive sign, I think, because everyone's looking to see whether she's going to be able to replicate her, well, at least get near to replicating her hardcore and clay court form on grass. And this is a really positive sign, if you're a Swiatek fan, that she's managed to have some warm-up tournaments. Is she going to be number one? Probably not. So we'll just keep an eye on that for a second. Sabalenka, she has had an interesting last couple of weeks. She had a really good Australian Open. Of course, she won it. In Roland Garros, she made the semi-finals. She would have been a little bit disappointed to not go on and at least make the final and really push for that title. Won Madrid, though. She hasn't had the best of time on the grass, but she's only played 2 matches. She beat Zvonareva in Berlin and then lost to Kvitova, who, to be fair, is going to be very dangerous. And you can see she was in a Roland Garros power ranking. She probably will be in our Wimbledon ones as well. But I think Sabalenka and Rybakina are going to be up there, mainly because their form this year has been really good. Prior results, Sabalenka in the semi-finals in 2021. Rybakina is a defending champion. So you have to factor that in. Swiatek has never been past the 4th round at Wimbledon. So that is something to definitely factor in. Rybakina also has not been fit, you can tell. Of course, pulled out the French Open with a virus or food poisoning against Rybakina Sabalenka in the 3rd round. And since then, played Kudermetova. That's the other Kudermetova, not that's the P Kudermetova even. Beat her in straight sets, then beat lost to Vekic in 3 sets as well. But again, wasn't looking her best. Cancelled a match against Wang at Eastbourne. So I'm not going to factor in, by the way, any of the draws that have come out, any of the draw matchups that we're going to see. If you are interested in the draw for Wimbledon, go and check out my WTA draw preview and prediction video. This is going to be solely based on form, not looking at, this isn't my top 10 contenders for Wimbledon. It's my most informed players going into it. So yeah, Rybakina and Sabalenka are going to be up there. So 2 and 3, that's pretty much where we'll probably want them. Kvitova has been in some really good form. She won she's won a tournament, so she beat Vekic, Alexandrova, Caroline Garcia, Podoroska, Pliskova. I mean, that's just so impressive. Beat all of those players and didn't drop a single set as well, which is even more impressive. Alexandrova, Garcia, Pliskova, all very dangerous on grass. Same with Vekic. So I was impressed by that. Eastbourne, she pulled out of her matches against Ostapenko. So she's unbeaten on grass so far. So she's going to be up there. And I'm almost inclined to put her at the top because she's won the title and the people that she's beaten are pretty impressive. Now, if we look at Bad Homburg, I don't think the players that people have played are as impressive as well. And if we look at Eastbourne, where Madison Keys looks like she's about to beat Kasatkina, she beat Coco Gauff, Georgie. Those are some good wins, to be fair. Martic as well. So Keys is going to be in there as well. But I'm actually going to put Kvitova at the top because she's a two-time Wimbledon champion. I think that gives her a little bit of leeway. I think we can probably put Rybakina at 2, mainly because she's a defending champion. And form-wise, she's been very good this year. Of course, I don't think the last few weeks are a true reflection of her form going into. I think if she's fully fit, she's going to be, she's going to be fine. So 3 Sabalenka, I think is fine as well. We need to put in Swiatek in here somewhere. I don't know. Do Rybakina and Sabalenka, am I being a bit too optimistic putting them that high? Maybe. I think Kasatkina just made the final of Eastbourne. She's going to be up there. Ostapenko's had a pretty good few weeks as well. She's going to be dangerous. She made the quarterfinals, lost to Georgia. She pulled out of that, to be fair. Birmingham, she lost to... Well, sorry, she won Birmingham. She won Birmingham even. So that's really impressive. I'm thinking she needs to be up there. She beat Krejcikova, Krejcikova, Potapova, pretty good wins. Freck, okay. Venus Williams was a good win as well. I mean, Venus has been in some decent-ish form. And Noskova. Okay, so Ostapenko's got to be up there. And I actually think we can put her up. I think the winners of tournaments recently, we've got to give them value. I think that's only fair, right, to do that. I think Sabalenka here. Badosa, I don't. She's probably not going to be in there, to be honest, mainly because of her form recently. Good to see, by the way, Krejcikova make a final. Though, as a tight one, 7-6, 6-4. Krejcikova, I'm very much looking forward to seeing her at Wimbledon because she hasn't had the best of form. She pulled out of Eastbourne. She's only played the Birmingham Classic. She made the final there. She's going to be up there. I think she needs to be there at 6. Although actually, we're going to put Keys at 6 because she's about to win Eastbourne. This famous last words if she ends up going to lose it, but she's there or thereabouts, and her wins anyway. Even if Kasatkina was to win, I think she's got some good wins. Keys, Gauff, really good win. Martic, good win. Wang, but I actually think if we look at Kasatkina's results, she's beaten Georgie, good win there. Garcia, who's going to be up there. So I think we can put Kasatkina at 8 is perfect. Then I think we need to put Garcia at 9. I think that's fair. And Coco Gauff has had some decent results as well. Have I missed it? Jodie Burrage as well won Nottingham, but sorry, Katie Bolter even won Nottingham. Burrage has had some decent results as well. Bad Homburg, Bronzetti, and Shiniakova to battle it out, but I'm just looking at who they've beaten. Noskova, Gracheva, Samsonova is a good win, to be fair. They haven't really beaten many top opponents. That's my issue with that. So I think we're going to have to keep them there for now. Garcia and then Haddad Meir. I mean, Haddad Meir is really, really good. But if we look at Coco Gauff's performances, she's beaten Gauff, Pagula, Burrage, Pera, really good wins. Siniakova lost Alexandrova in the round of 16 in Berlin. I think Gauff she's got to sneak in there. I think that's probably fair. Caroline Garcia, we put at 9. Let's confirm though her results for the season. Quarterfinal, pulled out of the Kasatkina match. Beat Bogdan, Brengel, decent wins, I guess. But what did she do? So another quarterfinal in Berlin. Lost to Kvitova, 4-less, beat her and Lisicki. Actually, I think Gauff has to be above Garcia because the wins that Garcia have are not as impressive. by any stretch. Um, I think that's pretty fair. Jabeur hasn't had the best of times. Beat Paolini, then lost to Georgie. Georgie's, we're gonna look at her in a second and see where she should be in there. Lost to Niemia in Berlin the first time. She's gonna be just outside just because she was a finalist last year, but she's not looking like she's in the best of form, which is a bit of an alarming sign if you're an Ons Jabeur fan. Georgie made semi-final of Eastbourne, beating Ostapenko, Jabeur, Watson. Lost to Venus Williams in the first round of Birmingham. Nottingham, round of 16. I think we got to put her in there. I think we got to put her in there. That's only fair. Katie Bolter will be on the outside here. So we've got Bolter and also Garcia, I think, just outside. And then what I might have a look at is Zheng Xinwen, just to confirm her results, because she's had some decent results, but she's not quite pushed on as you'd imagine, because on the grass, she's actually got 2 first round losses. And in fact, we almost forgot Kudermetova. We've got to talk about her and Alexandrova, both of these players. So, right. Quarterfinal of Berlin, Herta Gembosch, Alexandrova won that. It wasn't the best of fields, but Kudermetova made the final. She beat Sabalenka and Zheng Xinwen. I think you got to put Kudermetova here. Kudermetova and Alexandrova, I think, actually. And then we've got to put Gauff on the outside and Georgie. Here's a lot of. I mean, the WTA is absolutely stacked. And unlike the men's, where I think Djokovic is going to be a massive favourite, I mean, you look at this list. I mean, any of these people could win Wimbledon, I think. And again, this is not my top 10 contenders, but form-wise and in terms of how their games translate onto the surface, they're impressive. They're really, really impressive. So Alexandrova has made a semi-final of Berlin, won Herzogenbosch. She beat Gauff Samsonova. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Right, okay, so these are my Wimbledon power rankings for the WTA side. We got there in the end. Kvitova at 1, mainly because she's won a tournament, impressive wins, look good, and mainly also because she's won Wimbledon twice before. I think her game clearly suited to it. Ostapenko at 2, won a tournament, lost a final. Sorry, let me rephrase. Won a tournament beating Krejcikova, and she's also very dangerous. She's looked good in the last couple of weeks. Rybakina at 3, Sabalenka at 4. I think, in my opinion, if we're talking about contenders, they're going to be the 2 biggest contenders. But in terms of form, I think it's fair to put them at 3 and 4. They shouldn't be in the top. They haven't won enough matches on the grass court season so far. Swiatek at 5, some decent wins, but only played one tournament, pulled out of a semi-final. Keys at 6, who's in the final of Eastbourne. Some other good performances as well. And then we also have Krejcikova at 7, made a final. Kasatkina also made a final as well. Kudermetova at 9, who's made a final and also some impressive wins. Same with Alexandrova, who won a tournament. And then just outside, we've got Jabeur, who finalist last year, of course, hasn't really done a lot though. She's lost a lot of matches. She's lost her matches, her first rounds on the grass so far. Zheng Xinwen again lost both her first round matches. Bolter won Nottingham and looked quite good being Burridge. And I think we've got to put Burridge on the outside as well. And then we've got Garcia, who's found a little bit of form, won a few matches, which is good. She is very good on grass, generally speaking. Gauff as well, some decent wins, and same with Camilla Giorgi. So those are my Wimbledon power rankings. Let me know your thoughts on yours. What would be your list? Of course, remember, when you do your power rankings, it's not who you think is going to be the number 1 contender at Wimbledon, who's going to win. It's going into this, who's the most informed players, 1 to 10. And try and keep any bias of who you think is going to win out of your head. It's easier said than done, but it's possible. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you in the next video.